Like, I hope this is like a cheat code now, like a cheat sheet. You feel me? Like, now after listening to this, I hope this like gives you some type of perspective to realize whatever you're thinking today, especially if it's bad, you're not going to think about it tomorrow, because it's not something that you want to even think about. If it was something about, oh, I want to get to this point, I want this goal, I want to do this, you're going to think about that tomorrow, because that's something that you really want to do, right? That's something positive, something good. Regardless of what you want to do, you're going to think about that. Now, if it's something that's bad, you got to realize it's just in that moment. You can acknowledge it. You can feel that fear, feel that emotion, but then let it pass by just doing it anyways, doing what you need to do. Continue on with your day. YouTube, it's your boy CEO Hobson. We back with another video. And as you can tell by the title of today's video, we finna get into it, you feel me? It's finna be a long one probably, I don't know, but it's an important one. Something valuable that I believe someone here watches this, Anta Anchi, will take away and be like, yeah, feel me? But anyways, just got done with my run, did my jump ropes, and now I'm finna make my smoothie, and then we're gonna start this. All right, let's get into it. All right, so let's get into it. As you can tell by the title, it should say something along the lines of how to overcome a negative mindset. Actually, no, I'm gonna stick to that title, how to overcome a negative mindset. Yeah. All right. So to start off with this video, this topic, this discussion with y'all, Anta Anchi, I want you to realize one thing, at least at the beginning of this. So it goes like this: realize this and foremost. First and foremost. Wow. See, I even want to like restart the video. It's cool. Realize this first and foremost. Reality is what you do next. Say it 3 times with yourself. To yourself, my fault. Or with me. Reality is what you do next. Reality is what you do next. Reality is what you do next. All right. So, as I mentioned before in the previous videos, there'd be times where I'd be like super like hyper focused, all up in my head. There'd be times where I just overthink, and I actually can't stop overthinking, like until it gets to a point where I'm like just like frustrated or whatever, and I just snap out of it. But you know, the overthinking, the anxiety that I feel, that could last up. It could last up to like, you know, a few minutes to 30 minutes, 45 minutes, up to almost an hour. Sometimes it could be something that happens throughout the whole day, just in my head, and it's just like, it feels like it just won't leave, something that I just can't escape. But the most important thing, like I just said in the beginning of this video, is reality is what you do next. Everything in our head, everything that we think, is just that. It's a thought. Whether it be tapped in from our subconscious to our conscious, it does not matter. You gotta realize reality is what you do next. Now, if you constantly think about negative things in one way or another, you are kind of like manifesting negative outcomes, right? So what do I mean by that? If you constantly think about bad things, or just let these things overcome your personal joy, your inner joy, then I feel like at times, you know, when something actually bad happens, you kind of correlate it to that and be like, damn, just here goes another bad thing happening in my life or something. And I feel like if you kind of like, well, not kind of, but X that out of your head, like, you know, and realize, okay, this bad thing happened, but that's just part of life. And just realize that what you're experiencing is life, then I think that's like, if anything, a good start to manifesting positive outcomes. I feel like if you're stuck in that mental state for so long, then you're kind of like digging yourself a deeper hole, if that makes sense. But yeah, so basically at one point, it was really difficult for me to get out of this mindset, hence why I've had those thoughts for so long. And I just want to give you like a few examples, because then you could probably just like relate to it, and be like, oh yeah, like maybe this is something that Anta, you might have experienced or might experience in the future. I don't know. Like, you gotta also understand before I say these examples that life is life. Everyone experiences life in their own way. And so if you're experiencing something bad and you see the next person right by you not experiencing that same thing, you gotta realize, for one, don't compare yourself to that person. But two, they might have something going on in their life that you don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is their own, to each its own, right? So you gotta realize that you're experiencing your life on your own, and you should be able to maneuver through that. Like, not should, like, you are able to maneuver that. My fault. Yeah, you are able to maneuver it, whether it's through thinking positively, reaffirming, okay, yo, this is a bad experience, but what can I take from this and make sure that it doesn't happen? Like, there's things that you can do to like avoid this constant negative, instead of filling yourself up with like bad emotions and sticking to like bad emotions. What I say before too, emotions keep you broke. They keep you diverted from the real goal, the goal that you want to do, what you want what you want to attain and achieve in life. And yes, I got my smoothie for those who are wondering. You feel me? This is peanut butter, right? Yeah. All right. Just didn't want to blend. Just wanted to stay there. So let it. Yeah. All right. So examples. Let's get to it. So I said earlier in like one of my past videos, like recent videos, like that in high school, it started in high school where I started to overcome or like deal with certain things. And this is mainly anxiety and like overthinking, and also hyper focusing on things. This kind of happened or started like my sophomore year of high school, right? So basically, let's see here. I wrote this stuff down. Okay, for example, light switches. Okay, this could be the simplest things. All right, just listen to this. This might sound crazy, but I feel like I know that there are others who have little things that can drive them nuts. Okay, this is one of them. So light switches, right? You know, when you switch it on and off and on. So, I don't know why, I don't know how it started, but when I would switch the light off or on, if I had a bad thought in that moment, it would cause me, like, something in me would be like, no, I gotta switch it off and switch it back on, and I have to have a positive thought. You know, the whole like two negatives make a right, or like a positive, like, you know, two negatives equal a positive or some shit. So somehow, some way, that thought correlation, or like, yeah, it correlated with my thoughts and like how I would go about things from now on, or from that point on. Where like, until recently, obviously, like a few years ago, really, but yeah, like I would literally switch it on, off, and if I had a bad thought, I wouldn't have to, but in that moment, in that time, it felt like I had to, you know? I hope that makes sense. Like, I had to switch it. And if I didn't, that is me allowing that switch basically to dictate how the rest of my day is going to go. Start my day, if I don't do it correctly, or if in the way that it feels right within me, mentally, I don't know what, it would genuinely be like, damn, I'm probably going to have a bad day. Or, you know, like one bad thing, and it's because I didn't do that light switch, because I didn't do that. Feel me? I hope that makes sense. All right. Another one. Yeah, like basically I would have it dictate how my life would play. Like if I didn't do it correctly, then the way, wait, hold on, sorry. Yeah, basically my life would play out the next day based off of that action. You feel me? Whether I would have a good day or not, that light switch, now that might sound crazy, but I promise you, in my head, in my mind, when that stuff would happen, I genuinely felt like the world was like coming to an end. Yes, okay, perfect. So yeah, that happening honestly made me feel nut, like it drove me nuts. All right, I don't know why, and it could be that one little thing. Okay, if I touch this, okay, I gotta touch it again. I don't know what it was, I don't know why, but like those little things, if I don't do this or that, I'll have a thought. If it's a bad thought, and if I don't touch it again, or you know what I'm saying, like I would let that stuff get to me. I would let that stuff actually dictate how the rest of my day would go. And even though that might sound crazy to you or to someone that's probably watching this video that's never experienced it, that's really how like I personally experienced negative thoughts, anxiety. Like that's really what initiated that type of mindset within me, like literally. Okay, another example would be the way I have things folded in my room. Obviously I have OCD, or some extent of OCD, which is totally normal. I love things neat. At least for me, I think it's normal, because I genuinely, I mean, I'm pretty sure I get it from my mom, but I need things to be neat. I have to have it neat. If it's all just disorganized and messy, for the most part, it actually bothers me. Now I know you've seen it in my room, like my clothes haven't been folded. They're still not folded, I'll be honest. They're like on my gaming chair or whatever, and then whenever I play, I put on my bed and switch it out. I know, but it's like currently, okay, see, but is an excuse. I could just fold it, I know. Currently I am waiting, or I'm basically switching from rooms back to my old room. So like I don't have the closets. I have to like, you know, set that stuff up and then do that, and then I don't have to worry about it. Again, that's basically like, you know, anyways, that's besides the point. I'm basically an OCD ass person, where like, you know, I would have to have things neat. If it doesn't, it bothers me. Trust me, the stuff like my clothes in my room right now, it does bother me. It actually frustrates me. You know, it's part of life, and it's not something that's really that important that I'm gonna let control me. Because back then me would have been all over that. It would have been like, if you don't do this, then the rest of the day you won't make this video. You won't be able to make this video that I'm making right now. Things like that, like that kind of thought process is actually, it was literally like something that took over my mindset in general. Like how I approached things, how I approached people, how I approached life. Like I was so stuck in my head that I could not literally get out of it. But what did I just say? Or again, what did I say earlier? Reality is what you do next, right? So anyways, in regards to like my room being very clean and me being OCD to a certain extent, right? Basically at that point, I let my OCD also play a role in like my thought process, right? So it caused more anxiety by doing so, where it got to a point where I would have like, so like for example, mail, right? I would have my mail or a piece of paper just on my desk, just neatly, just the way I laid it there. Sometimes my dad at the time would come in my room, put more mail, or just, I don't know, he'd just do something. Or my sister or my mom like would just go in my room and do something, right? Totally fine. Again, if I find something that is kind of misplaced or like not in the same angle, the right type of, you know what I'm saying, how I left it, something within me would just automatically feel irked. Like it just irked me. Like I just would like go crazy about it in my head, and it would just bother me, because now I know I have to put it back in that area. Or like at the time I know I had to like, basically it felt like I had to like place it back in that right way. And if I didn't, well then I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally fucked, and I'm just not in a, you know what I'm saying, positive mindset at that point. My older sister's calling me, but I'll call her back. Love you, BTO. Anyways, yeah, so literally if that mail was misplaced, I would have to now go out of my way, put it back, and at the same time hope that those thoughts that I have, like if it's a bad thought and I'm doing it, it would bother me and also disrupt me doing that. You see how like, even like for me, Now when I think about it and when I say this out loud and just reflect on it, yeah, I genuinely think that's crazy. But crazy is not a bad thing, because it was a problem of mine that I overcame eventually. You feel me? It was something that I realized that honestly doesn't play a role in my life. It has nothing to do with my life. That's just an object, some material. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't dictate, it doesn't define who I am at the end of the day. My actions define who I am. My actions dictate how I approach things, or shows others how I approach things, if that makes sense. But yeah, basically, like, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of stuff would make me feel like, just it'd make me go crazy. It would bother me. And so yeah, if I had like a bad thought while doing so, I would have to do it again until I had a good thought. So you see, like, where I hope you know where I'm going with this, but this might sound crazy, and that's totally fine, whatever. But I know that there are people who are definitely having these type of thoughts, or have had these type of thoughts, and these little things, but at that time, are so huge in our mind space, our mental space. It plays a huge role on our mental. You feel me? Like, it would play a huge role on our mental, and that, at least on my mental especially, like, yeah, it definitely affected me in a way where I had to be like, whoa, and step back. And so one thing that I realized in that point, in that matter, is like, all the stuff that in our head, it's like you are prioritizing those thoughts. But Anta as well, like, you are prioritizing the thoughts in your head. So you might have a bad thought or a negative thought that comes up in your head, but then it's your way, like it's your decision. It's up to you to, like, basically go ahead and say, am I going to prioritize this thought? Am I just going to acknowledge it and move on? Am I just going to feel the emotions and then let them pass and keep going? What did I say before? Feel the fear and do it anyways. Even, like, feel the fear and do it anyways. That's 7 words, I believe, right? Those 7 words would have done the absolute most back then if I heard something like that. Probably, I don't know. But today, man, that basically, like, cleared out all the little, like, things that I just let get to me back then in the day. Like, literally, like, I would literally let these things get to me. And it was just something that I had to overcome. And this is part of anxiety. Like, this is something that fuels anxiety. This is part of human life. Like, others might have another form of anxiety. You know, this is my form of anxiety. I was always the type of person, me personally, I was always in my head. I was always in my thoughts. I could never get away from it for some reason, somehow. You know what I'm saying? Until I realized reality is what you do next. You feel me? All right. So now I'd say up until, like, my junior year of college, right? This was something that, like, I would have to constantly deal with. I'd let stuff get to me, and I feel like in one way or another, I'll have definitely a video out in regards to relationships, or about relationships, and maybe how you should just approach it, just from, like, my past experiences and all that. But this next part I want to, like, bring up is, like, kind of, it's personal, but I'm not gonna make it too personal where you're gonna, like, know so much about it. It's just like, so having these type of thoughts that I just described, right, and now going into a relationship, you would imagine that kind of was just like that formula, all the shit that I was already dealing in my head, and then the relationship, like, you feel me? Like, it wouldn't work, and it says, you would think, right? Until, or I don't know, maybe it was just 20%. All right. I don't know. For me personally, you feel me? Like I said before, I used to reflect a lot, especially on the daily. And the person that I was with at the time, right? You know, I would have these thoughts in my head. negative, just bad, just things I just could not control, things that made me feel really overwhelmed. And I mean, God bless this person's soul, because like at least this person was like the type of person that really wanted to understand and really know what was going on in my head, and would actually like take the time to like listen, and then also like hit me with shit that I wouldn't expect, but also kind of like help change the narrative in my head, or like the mindset, I guess. So kudos to that person. But what I mean by this is like, I basically like brought it up to this person, right? I'm having these thoughts and these things, these anxiety, it's like it's forming an anxiety, and it's making me feel like I'm about to like lose you, right? Or I'm not gonna be good enough for you, or like I'm not that person for you, or like you're like something's gonna happen. And this was early on into the relationship, like right after I like bagged her. Ew, nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways, like once we like got together and was like, you know, within the first month or so of just being in the relationship, like just the way how I was thinking was just not like, it wasn't helping. It was just like, it got to a point where like I was just going crazy. I felt like I was about to lose this person, or something bad was gonna happen. I just didn't want that to happen. So I brought it up with that person, okay? And I told him my fears, right? And basically like the thoughts that I was like having made me feel like I was going ballistics, like literally in my mind. Like I was just like, you feel me? Like it was just, I could not control it. And then I brought it up to that person, and then they made all those fears basically like melt, right? By making me understand this. For one, those were just in my head, right? And kind of made me realize my own self-worth at that time too, especially because again, through my actions, the way I talked to that person, the way I got to know that person, that's what, you know, hence allowed me to bag that person, or like be in that relationship or form that relationship, is because of who I was or who I am, right? It didn't have to do with the thoughts that was going on in my head. It didn't have nothing to do with the negative, the anxiety I felt. I mean, the person that I was with at the time also made me very calm, felt very calm, and like I felt very patient and very focused, which helped. But still, to that day, like to like at that time, I still had those type of thoughts until I brought that up. And that person made me realize like my self-worth, my own self-worth in a sense, that helped me conquer those thoughts, like the thoughts that I was freaking out about that person, like, oh, this is gonna happen, or something bad's gonna happen, da da da. But all in all, that's not how it happened. At least not the way it played out in my head. It did not play out in reality. You feel me? So I hope that made sense. You feel me? But look, basically what I want to say is like the thoughts, the fears, anxieties, whatever, the negative thinking, basically what I just described was me believing in those thoughts, right? So those thoughts, those beliefs that I now formed turned into like what? A rule, or something that I had to like go off of. So beliefs turn into rules. Our rules are the rules. Feel me? I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna say that one more time. Beliefs turn into rules. Our rules are the rules. So anything bad that I focused on, that I had so much, you know what I'm saying, towards, I let that stuff then form my mindset of, okay, I have to go like this. And it was basically a rule that I set up for myself that slowed me down, that had me stuck in this negative cycle of thinking. You feel me? And I had to like over time, this is not something that like, you know, happened overnight, bro. It genuinely like it did not at all. Feel me? So I want you to Anchi, like, I hope this is like a cheat code now, like a cheat sheet. You feel me? Like now, after listening to this, I hope this like gives you some type of perspective to realize whatever you're thinking today, especially if it's bad, you're not going to think about it tomorrow because it's not something that you want to even think about. If it was something about, oh, I want to get to this point, I want this goal, I want to do this, you're going to think about that tomorrow because that's something that you really want to do, right? That's something positive, something good. Regardless of what you want to do, you're going to think about that. Now, if it's something that's bad, you got to realize it's just in that moment. You can acknowledge it. You can feel that fear, feel that emotion, but then let it pass by just doing it anyways, doing what you need to do. Continue on with your day. I literally was stuck one day. Like, I just be stuck, just like sitting down in my head, just literally I could not even get out my bed sometimes, bruh. I wouldn't even want to talk to nobody because I'm like, I got to do this before I even answer the door, or like respond to this text message, or back to my parents, like get back to my own parents. Like, I was letting these like thoughts and fears and anxieties or whatever I was going through, like really build up. And like, I basically had my own rule, like my own, like, you know, thought process of how I had to go about things. And if I didn't, then my life is fucked. You feel me? Like, dead ass. And that's the thing. All through that, I was going to private school. I was going through college. I was school. I did not have a time to even think, to breathe. Because I was constantly doing things. I was constantly busy. I also had my first job sophomore year of high school, and I still was working. I still to this day, like from then, like I worked every day. Like I did not care. I'm a self-sufficient person. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta do things on my own. Like, that's just how I want to do it. That's how I'm going to go about it. Because I rely on myself. The only person I rely on is on myself. But how can I rely on my own self if my own self is, like, fucking me up in these ways? You feel me? And school and all that. I'll be honest, too. Like, at one point, you know, I thought about trying to do therapy. I think maybe I had therapy once. I'm not going to lie. And this is not to bash therapy or anything. Like, but like, okay, well, it's not even me bashing. My dad was off that. He was like, bro, you don't need no therapy. He was like, nah, bro. This is in high school, so it was back then, but like, you don't need no therapy, bro. He said, you just need to go pray. That's it. To a certain extent, yeah, that's facts. Praying helps, you know, like giving up all my fears and anxiety to the higher power. Yeah, for sure. That helps. Cause I have no control over that. I have control of my life, though, of what I'm going to do next, in that sense. That's the only thing I have control. You have control. Anchianta, like, that's literally what we have control of, not the thoughts. Because a bad thought or something can form on its own. We didn't go out, ask yourself this. Did you ask yourself to have that bad thought? Did you go out your way to form that bad thought? No, it just appeared. That's the mind. Like, we haven't even discovered our minds fully. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? To this day, it's 2021 and we don't even know half of what the brain's capability is. Think about that. So you gotta realize, like, you know, with all the technology and all the, you know what I'm saying, billions and trillions of money that we spend, we still don't know shit about our own mind, our own brain. Let's just be real. So you gotta realize reality is what you do next. That's all. Like, just go off of that. Reality is what you do next. Tell yourself one more time, reality is what you do next. It's what I do next. Is she? So I hope that made sense. But yeah, so you got to remind yourself of the values that you stand by, that you know alone makes you stand up, that makes you a stand-up individual, that makes you a human being, that makes us a human being. Let me say that one more time. Remind yourself of the values that you stand by, that you know alone makes you a stand-up individual, that makes a human being. Your values, your core values, your beliefs, that's what you stick by. That's what you're gonna stick to through the rest of your life. You feel me? Not those negative thoughts, not your anxiety. So that's genuinely how you really can overcome, and how you will overcome your negative thoughts, is by reminding yourself reality is what you do next. Feel it. Feel the emotion. Feel how much crazy it drives you. Again, afterwards, continue. Go ahead. Go on with your day. Because I promise you, at the end of the day, time is going to keep going. Right now it's 2:02, or now I just turned 2:03. And then in the next minute it's gonna be 2:04. You feel me? Things go on. Life goes on. Time goes on. I have something in my eye, bro. I don't know. Hold on, let me have some of my smoothie too, bro. Hold on, bro. I'm not even gonna edit this out. We're just, you know. We all humans, we experience shit, you feel me? I don't know what the hell. I think my eyelashes or my whatever, yeah, my eyebrows or no eyelashes. I don't know, bro, but whatever that stuff is, they're all natural. I know. Shorties be hitting me up and be mad jealous about my eyelashes or whatever, because they all natural. You feel me? Anyway, that's besides the point. Did I say jealous? Nah, jealousy, fuck it. Just, they be off that because, you know, my shit be really nice as a guy, you know what I'm saying, as a man, you feel me? Anyways, as well, you gotta realize that nobody is perfect and imperfect. Wow, I can't even speak. As well, realize that nobody is perfect and imperfect, all right? Nobody's perfect, but who? The man upstairs, all right? Or whatever your religion or whatever you believe in, who is the higher power, who has the higher power, that is the individual. That is the spirit that is perfect. You feel me? You can try your best to be perfect. You can be the best. Don't even try being perfect. Just do your best. Be the best. Make sure that you are the best. Walk away knowing that you did your best. You feel me? But anyways, there's so much work, so much to work on, that just keep going, period. You feel me? Those off days, the thoughts that might be a little heavier on the mental, like, you gotta understand that's just part of the day, and it's the way that you approach them that allows you to propel forward. And that's the key, and that's key. The way you approach it, the way you go about it, the way you propel yourself forward and progress. That's key. What did I say the other day? Progress over perfection. Feel me? I think, was it progress over perfection? Yeah. Like, progress yourself. Just focus on the progress. Keep going. Anyways, hey, we just hit 30 minutes, boy. Anyways, that's actually pretty much all I wanted to say for today's video. I am gonna leave you with this. This has been helping me. It's something that also helps me, like, reaffirm, you know, any type of thoughts that might be negative, and reaffirm them to be positive, or reaffirm positive thinking. Is the anxiety is lying to you. You are doing great and you're going to be successful. One more time. The anxiety is lying to you. You are doing great and you're going to be successful. Write that down. Write that down in your notes. Write that down somewhere. Stick, like, I don't know, get a tattoo or something of it. I don't know, like, keep it somewhere on you where you realize you can go to it and just look at it and just remind yourself, if something like the anxiety, something that's going to you, the anxiety is lying to you. You're going to be great and you're going to be successful, period. Just, that's it. All right, so middle fingers to all the negative thinking. You feel me? That's the only time you should ever use your middle finger, right? Is towards your own negative thoughts, and be like, nah, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna get you. Your ugly, dusty, crusty, boy. You feel me? Anyways, that's all I got for y'all today. I mean, I definitely got some more, but we just gonna leave it at that for today, all right? Go ahead and finish this smoothie, and then I'm going to, you know, go ahead and go along with the rest of my day. Get stuff done. You feel me? You get stuff done, and if it's nighttime, then when you're watching this, and go to sleep. You feel me? You better have watched it to this point. I'm about to start doing these things where, like, at the end of these videos, Like some point in the, it's not even gonna be at the end. You're just gonna have to, like, it's gonna be a key word. And I'm gonna make sure that like those who find that keyword get something. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but like I'm really like, I'm being dead ass. I'm 23 years old, a young adult. You feel me? Finna make it in life. I'm making it into life. I'm overcoming my anxiety and my thoughts, and all I care about is making sure that you, if you're 18, younger than me, older than me, it don't matter. I want you to actually get over these thoughts, bruh. Because I'm finally getting over myself. And I don't want nobody. I don't even want my own kids, my future kids, my nieces, my 2 nieces, bruh. I don't want them to ever think like this. So this is for them too. But it's also for you, Auntie, Anta, whoever you are. You know what I'm saying? Go about your life in the best way. Like, live your life like tomorrow is like your last. You know what I'm saying? So you know that if you know today's your last day on earth, you don't want to be sticking around just thinking negative, like being around, like just staying negative. Nah, you want to live your life. You want to be positive. You want to be happy. Also, you got to realize too, like one last thing. I don't mean to like, if my video is always on my bed, but my phone just at the end of that part literally hit me with, your phone's heating up or some shit. It's too hot to operate. It had a little temperature shit on it. But thankfully the video is saved, of course. So y'all got the overall message. I hope y'all did, and can apply it starting today, starting right now. Go to sleep with it, wake up with it. You know what I'm saying? Start your day, end your day with that type of mentality, and I promise you, you will have a better outcome than just sitting around and letting that stuff get to you. You feel me? Anyways, it's your boy CEO Habesha, and I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. So y'all have a blessed day, and love y'all. Peace.